Hello everyone, my name is Usman Ahmed Chaudhary and this presentation is based on my individual report for the course Introduction to the Malaysian Constitution at Junior Zark. Today I'll be talking about freedom of speech in Malaysia, a fundamental right that plays a key role in shaping democratic societies including ours. Freedom of speech is a cornerstone of democracy. It encompasses people to voice their opinions, challenge authorities, and shape public discourse. By promoting transparency, it fosters accountability and encourages diverse perspectives in society. This right is also globally recognized, especially under Article 19 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. However, in Malaysia, while the right is acknowledged, it is subject to legal restrictions that can limit how freely people express themselves. In Malaysia, the federal constitution guarantees freedom of speech under Article 10(1)(a). This provision gives citizens the right to express their views and opinions. However, Article 10(2)(a) allows Parliament to impose restrictions in the interest of national security, morality, and public order, amongst other concerns. As a result, freedom of speech in Malaysia is not absolute. It is conditional and subject to the laws passed by the government. Several laws significantly limit freedom of speech in Malaysia. The Sedition Act 1948 criminalizes speech that could incite hatred or hostility, especially towards the government or monarchy. The Communications and Multimedia Act in 1998 regulates digital contents, often targeting social media users for so-called offensive speech. The Printing Presses and the Publications Act 1984 requires media outlets to be licensed by the government. Lastly, the Official Secrets Act 1972 prohibits the disclosure of classified government information. Together, these laws provide the foundation for restricting speech in various contexts. There have been several notable cases that show how these laws are applied. In Public Prosecutor versus Azmi Sharm in 2015, a law professor was charged under the Sedition Act for expressing his academic opinion. In 2021, Melisanki was found in the contempt of court for readers' comments on his websites raising concerns about media freedom. Another example is repeated investigation of artist Fahmi Raza, known for the satirical artwork that criticizes political leaders. These cases highlight how freedom of speech is tested in real life situations. There have been attempts to reform these restrictive laws. Different governments have promised to repeal acts like the Sedition Act, but little progress has been made. During the COVID-19 pandemic, enforcement of speech laws actually increased, especially online. The Human Rights Commission of Malaysia, or SHUKAM, has appealed for clearer standards and more respect for free expansion. Meanwhile, civil society continues to push for stronger protections and legal reforms. Looking internationally, Malaysia's policy on free speech is more restrictive. In the United States, freedom of speech is strongly protected, with only limited exceptions like incitement to violence. In Indonesia, civil society is active and reforms in speech laws are ongoing. Singapore, like Malaysia, also tightly regulates speech, especially in politically sensitive areas. Overall, Malaysia falls short of international standards such as the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights and the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. The better to better protect freedom of speech, Malaysia use undertake legal reform. Laws like Sedition Act should be repealed or rewritten with clearer and narrow definitions to prevent misuse. Judicial independence must be ensured so that the courts can fairly uphold constitutional rights. Lastly, civil education is key to promoting responsible and open public discourse. A society that values free speech is one that strengthens the economy. The presentation was based on range of legal documents, reports, and case laws. These acts and the federal constitutions of Malaysia, several key facts, and the case judgments. Additionally, additional insights were drawn from SOCOM reports and respected news resources such as Melisanki and the Malaysian Insight. Thank you, everyone. This was my presentation on the freedom of speech.